Have you ever felt trapped in a wave of overwhelming emotions and couldn't find a way out? Today, I'll share some steps to help you move through these intense moments. Trauma is a hard place to come out of. When you are triggered, the first thing to do is to address your heightened activation by decreasing stimulation. This step is all about reducing stimulation to your senses. For example, by dimming your screen, you reduce eye stimulation, and you can reduce ear stimulation by retiring to a quieter place, or by putting on very soft music, ASMR for instance, or your favorite meditation track. Apply the same reasoning to all other senses. Smell can also be quite triggering, so reduce stimuli on all levels. This is what I do when I'm triggered. I go to my bedroom, I close the curtains, I tuck under the sheets, and I put myself in a fetus position. Then I use a very soft blanket to soothe myself by rubbing it on my face very gently. This may sound very silly, but I'm treating myself like a little child here because my trauma is rooted in adverse childhood experiences. So I'm giving myself what I never got from my primary caretakers. Don't be ashamed to do the same. If you're not at home, find the quietest toilet in your office or the department store, a little garden not really frequented, maybe a basement parking lot where there is not much traffic going on, or simply walk a bit aimlessly where you are, some way away from crowds. Stay in these safe places as long as you need to see your whole system calm down a bit. You will literally feel like a switch turning off at some point. Now, once you are somewhat out of your perceived danger zone and you feel you are calming down, it's time to actually assess the level of triggering you're going through. Just like different fires will require different levels of fire brigade interventions, different levels of triggering will require different measures of care. Ask the following question. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how afraid of the near future are you feeling right now? Are you expecting an imminent attack, a sudden loss, or an accident to happen? The higher the fear about your near future, the higher your triggering level. But by engaging your cognitive thinking, by scaling yourself on your level of fear, will transfer some of the energy that is being harnessed from the fight and flight system towards planning and a sense of being in control. The sense of imminent attacks or accidents is driven by your brain over-relying on past traumatic memories, where you had little to no control over what was happening. So by introducing a bit of present awareness in what is currently a very past-oriented state, you're going to help your brain recognize that this is a perceived threat, not a real one, and that you have more control than you are led to believe. If you write your answer down, this action will also help transferring nervous system activation towards more cognitive, relaxing activities and states. All of this trying to assess yourself is overall empowering your brain to feel it has agency over the world, over its reading of the world, and over what it wants to do. Okay, the next question is this one. On a scale from 0 to 10, how strong is either your level of anger and desire to attack someone, your feeling down, or your wanting to escape from where you are? If you have answered a high score to the first question, this score is also likely to be high, unless you have managed to give yourself a very, very safe environment in which to experience these triggers, and you're familiar with them by now. The higher your rating on these two questions I've given you, the more you need to stay in a place where there is reduced stimulation, and then nurture your need to feel connected, acknowledged and validated. Reaching out to someone you really trust and just very plainly express the fact that you are going through a trigger and that you need to feel connected and reassured of their presence is really, really a powerful intervention. Break through the shame of experiencing what you are experiencing and the guilt for bothering someone. Ask them to give you an energy hug, as I have explained in another video. Tell them that just knowing that they are there and that they can validate what you're experiencing by repeating back what they are hearing or reading from you is enough. So on this note, by the way, do not involve anyone around you that you're not deeply familiar with. People around us are mostly untrained and incapable of knowing what to do. Partly because knowledge of trauma is still not quite where it should be, and partly because good help can only come when there is a lot of trust and mutual knowledge in the relationship or professional know-how. So do not count on the average colleague, flatmate, or even family member for that matter. Retire to a low stimulation environment and just communicate your distress to the one person you know will be fine with you feeling this way. And if you don't have such a person in your life, that's something you absolutely need to work on. These two strategies tackle the foundations of what a trauma activation state is all about: hyperactivation and feeling disconnected from the world. If you manage to remember these two actions-oriented steps, you will be empowered to manage your trauma triggers by both recognizing your agency in your capacity to reduce stimuli and calming your nervous system down, and also your agency in remaining connected to yourself and others when this happens. All triggers push us towards a sense that we have lost control and that we are disconnected from others. So break the pattern. Until next time, good luck with this one.